discussing analysis of small signal amplifiers, and as mentioned earlier, these can be used by using hybrid parameters or R parameters. Hybrid parameter analysis we discussed, and now we will be taking R parameter analysis. There are various reasons which of course I will specify. Because of these reasons, R parameter analysis has become quite popular in recent years, and in fact, in many times it has been preferred over H parameter analysis. Now, before taking the actual analysis, let us talk about a important thing, that is source and load impedances. Often, because as often I have said that when the frequency is low, impedance and resistance does not differ, and hence we loosely talk at low frequencies about resistances or impedances. So, source resistance first we talk, this is often written as RS. Every source which we connect at the input of the amplifier, this may be the microphone, this may be some other oscillator or the previous amplifier stage to which this stage is connected, they all have a impedance, and a circuit can always be Thevenized like this. This is the source impedance Vs, and this can be Thevenized with a voltage source and a resistance. Now, this current I, as we simply we can write, this will be Vs, the signal voltage, and the two resistances are coming in series, Rs and Zi. Now, this the voltage which is available for amplification actually is Vi. So, Vi is equal to I into Zi. So, when I substitute the value of I here, I get Vi equal to Zi Rs plus Zi into Vs. Now, from this expression you can see that Vi will be equal to Vs, that means there is no signal loss. As much as we are applying, the same is applicable for amplification at the amplifier. This is amplifier, Zi is the input impedance of the amplifier, Rs is the source resistance, source impedance, that is if it is a oscillator, then the oscillator what impedance it has. Now, this is obvious from here that Vi will be equal to Vs if Rs is small and it is small enough as compared to Zi. So, if the input impedance is high, I write this expression Vi is Zi Rs plus Zi into Vs, and the condition that Vi be equal to Vs, Rs should be low. So, we should use a source which has low resistance, Rs should be low, and this condition can also be satisfied that Zi, that is the input impedance of the amplifier, input impedance of the amplifier, this should be high, should be as high as possible. So, should be high. So, remember, a voltage amplifier should have a high input impedance. This point we have been emphasizing so far, and this becomes very obvious here, that for a voltage amplifier input impedance should be high and output impedance should be low, and that point we shall take now, and that is the load impedance. Load impedance. The amplifier, the output of the amplifier will give the output V 0, and every amplifier has a output impedance which we are writing at Z 0. Now, to this we connect the load. So, this is R L, and across this is R L is load, and across R L we measure what we call the amplified voltage at the load V L. V L is amplified voltage, AC voltage. Now, from this figure we can make out that V L is equal to R L plus Z 0 into V 0. This is the voltage which we will be observing at the load resistance. Now, there should not be loss of voltage. This will require that Z 0 should be as small as possible. Only then V L will be equal to V 0. So, this is the justification for the statement which we have been making, that the output impedance of a voltage amplifier should be low. When this is low, then the two impedances are equal and there is no loss of impedance. So, remember that source which we use with the amplifier, its impedance should be, input impedance should be low, RS should be low, and the output impedance of the amplifier should also be low if we want proper voltage at the load. Now, we come to R parameter analysis. R stands for resistance, and soon we will realize, we will look at the good features of this analysis, and that is why this has become quite popular. First, why R parameter analysis? Why R parameters? Why R parameters? First reason is that R parameter analysis is simple and straightforward. Second point is, we have seen in the H parameter analysis, and these H parameters vary with operating current and voltages. For accurate analysis, we need H values, H parameter values at these currents and voltages. Which is again is not very straightforward, and the R parameter analysis on the other hand requires only one parameter. R parameter analysis requires only one parameter, and this is actually calculated for the case for our circuit, and hence it is very accurate, and that makes analysis very simple. And the calculation of this one parameter, as we will see, is very straightforward and very simple. The performance, the third point which goes in favor of the R parameter analysis is that the equations, performance equations which we will soon be getting, they are very simple, not as complex as in the case of H parameter analysis. So, R parameter result in very simple performance equations. You will see it soon that, for example, the voltage amplification with the H parameters, that was the equation was quite complex. Here it will be extremely simple. So, this is that point. And then very important 2 points. One is that the circuit performance is almost that can be visualized. The circuit performance can be almost visualized, making design alterations and modifications simple. This is very important. And lastly, the results obtained by R parameter analysis are very close to the experimentally observed results. That is, the results obtained are close to the actually measured results. So, this is the reasons, these are the reasons why R parameter analysis is becoming popular. Now, there is one limitation of this R parameter analysis also, and that is this analysis actually does not take into account the feedback effect. You know what is feedback effect? That the two junctions in the transistor, the emitter junction and collector junction, do not work, do not operate totally independently. There is some little dependence, and this dependence is, for example, the input current I B becomes a function of the collector junction voltage. This is because of the feedback effect. This is one of the feedback effects. Now, R parameter analysis normally ignores, does not take into account these feedback effects, but feedback effects are very small and their influence on the performance can often be neglected. The magnitudes which are affected, those magnitudes are really negligibly small. So, this is not something very serious. So, now we will come to the R parameters. What are the R parameters? The R parameters. There are only two parameters required for this analysis. One is the value of current gain, the value of current gain beta. You remember beta we defined for CE amplifier, and this was the ratio of the output current to the input current, and this beta is same as in H parameters the forward current gain, HFE, forward current gain, or sometimes this is for DC, and as I said that DC and AC parameters current gains do not differ significantly, it hardly difference of 1 or 2%. So, they are the same. So, this is beta which we need. The other parameter is which is required for this R parameter analysis, and that is the value of emitter dynamic resistance, emitter dynamic resistance, which we have talked earlier also when we developed the small signal model of the transistor, and this is R E prime, which is sometimes written just simply R E, and this is 26 millivolts by I E in milliamperes, then it is the value in ohms. And this 26 millivolts is also sometimes taken just 25 for the sake of the convenience of calculation. 26 millivolts, one and the same thing, it will not incur much inaccuracy, and this is I E in milliamperes, then we get the value in ohms. So, these are the two parameters we require. Now, you remember that we developed a small signal model for moderate frequency applications when we talked about, when we were talking about the transistor BJT, and you will recall that this is what we arrived, a simple model, transistor model that we will be using in this analysis, transistor model, and this model was for NPN transistor. This model was, which is of course equally applicable for PNP transistor, only difference will be in the direction of the currents, that is it. So, here this is collector, this is base, and this is emitter, and this is the current source which is IC and this is equal to very close I e, and this resistance is the R e prime, the ammeter dynamic resistance which we were just talking, and this will be the direction of current. This is I c, this is I b, and this is I e. Few things are very fundamental for the analysis of transistor. One thing is that I e is equal to I c plus I b. This is for AC currents, as and this is the same similarly for DC currents. I e is equal to I c plus I b. This is very fundamental, and I c is, as I have written here, is very close to I e, because base currents, which is the recombination current, is often 2 orders of magnitude or higher, 3 orders of magnitude smaller than ammeter current or collector current. Now, we take the amplifier which we are going to analyze. Let us take a CE amplifier. So, we start from here, the amplifier analysis. The amplifier analysis, and we first take CE amplifier, common emitter amplifier. We take first the common emitter amplifier, and the complete amplifier is this. Now, this circuit must be looking familiar to you, because we have drawn it several times. This is the circuit. These are the resistances which are used to provide a proper bias, and always remember that the emitter junction has to be forward biased, collector junction has to be reverse biased, so that we are in the active region, and then we have to choose proper values of the DC currents, the I c, and this voltage drop here V c E q. This we have to derive properly, so that the circuit functions, and this we have talked that choosing appropriate values of the voltages and currents, DC currents and voltages in the circuit, that decides the operating point, and operating point should be nearly somewhere in the middle of the active region of the characteristics. So, anyway, this is the CE amplifier circuit. This is the source AC signal, source, and amplified output is taking at the load. Now, we apply the rules of the analysis, which of course we applied even in the case of hybrid parameter analysis, and I summarize just in 2 lines these rules again. So, the 2 effective rules for AC analysis. This is true for any AC analysis actually, that these rules have to be followed. The one is that DC voltage and current sources are to be reduced to 0. That means, the DC voltage source, when we are conducting AC analysis, then DC voltage source is to be grounded, and current source, to reduce it to 0, this is to be open circuited, and this is to be grounded voltage source. And all capacitors C1, look here in this circuit, C1, C2 and C3, all these capacitors we have chosen of the right value, taking into account what is the frequency region in which this amplifier is supposed to work. So, they will offer negligibly small impedance, and so we short them. C3 are shorted. Now, if we follow these rules of the analysis, then the C amplifier which we have shown here, this gets reduced to its AC equivalent circuit. So, the AC equivalent circuit will be this is the AC signal, AC circuit, AC equivalent circuit, AC equivalent circuit. The actual circuit is this, and when we short this, we short this, we short this, and DC voltage sources have to be grounded. So, this point is grounded. Then we will see that RB, this RB, this is actually when we ground this terminal. So, they actually become like this. This is grounded, and this is R1 and this is R2. Then as seen between these 2 points, these 2 resistances will be in parallel, and there, that is why the R is R1 in parallel with R2. Similarly, on the output side, when this is grounded, this terminal is grounded, this is RC, and this capacitor is grounded, and this is RL. So, RC, RL, as seen between these 2 points here and here, these 2 resistances will be in parallel. This is the parallel combination, is the impedance which is seen by the collector. So, this is the effective value of base resistance, this is the effective value RC is the combination of collector resistance with the load resistance. And also always remember that collector current is very close to the emitter current, and IB you know is IC by beta, and this can also be written as IE by beta. So, I hope things are clear. Let me recollect things. This is the actual common emitter circuit, and we are going to apply R parameter analysis for its analysis. Now, the rules are that DC current and voltage sources are reduced to 0. This is the DC voltage source. So, we ground for AC analysis, and these capacitors are shorted. We take them of appropriate value, so that they offer negligible impedance as compared to other impedances in the circuit, and hence they are shorted. When we do that, then as I have shown here, that if this is grounded, if we complete the circuit at the input, then the between the base and ground the impedance is RB, this RB, which is the parallel combination of R1 and R2. Similarly, on the collector side, when this is battery is grounded, then RC and RL, when as seen by the collector, they are in parallel, and hence RC is this, and this of course we have been often talking, and IB as you know is IC by beta, which is same as IB by beta. Now, we replace in this model this model which we have developed, AC equivalent circuit, we replace this transistor by the model which we developed, and you will remember that the model was this. This is the emitter, this is the collector, very simple. One resistance is there, which is emitter dynamic resistance, and this one is the current source. So, and this we arrived at when we discussed the transistors. So, now we replace this transistor in this circuit, in this AC equivalent circuit, we replace this, we will keep IRB, we will keep RE, we will keep RC, and this transistor we replace by that model. Then what we get is this. This is the emitter lead, this is the collector lead, and this is the base lead. This is RB, this is RC, and this is the dynamic resistance RE prime, and here this is our AC voltage source Vs. So, this is actually the equivalent circuit of the this is the transistor which is being replaced by this, and this source is IC or equal to IE. Here is the current IE, this is the current IC, and this is the current IB. These are all AC currents. Now, so I am sure I have made amply clear that how we arrive at this. The basic circuit of the amplifier, first we came to the AC equivalent circuit, and in the AC equivalent circuit we replaced the transistor by its small signal model, and we get this. Now, we are ready to go for the analysis. So, summation of voltages, in the base emitter circuit this results in, for example, at any instant we take the polarities like this, we start from here. So, we write minus V s plus I b into R b plus I e is flowing here. So, I e into R e prime plus R e. These are the two resistances in series. This is R e and this is R e prime, that dynamic resistance. So, we get this. Now, in this equation this is equal to 0. Now, putting I b equal to I e by beta, actually the base current is equal to the collector current by beta, but collector current and emitter current are taken as equal. So, this is that. Then this equation becomes I e by beta R b plus I e R e prime plus R e equal to V s, which can be written as I e we take out and R b by beta plus R e prime plus R e is equal to V s, or the emitter current, AC emitter current, this is, I will write, this is V s R e prime R e plus R b by beta. This is AC emitter current. Now, we can write AC voltages at the three terminals. The basic current, if we know I e, we know all the currents. We know I c, which is equal to this, we know I b, which is equal to I e by beta, and beta, as I said in the beginning, we know the value of beta for the amplifier. So, all the currents are known, and once we know all the currents, we can find out all the AC voltages. So, AC voltages at the three terminals of the transistor are these are. So, these equations are V b, which is I e into R e prime plus R e. Let us call this equation 1. What is this V b? The base terminal and ground. What is this voltage here? This is V b between base and ground. Now, these two resistances are in series and the current flowing from here is I e. So, obviously, the voltage which we will get will be what I have written, I e into the two resistances in series, and V e is equal to I e R e. This we call, this we will be using further. So, that is why you should note down these equation numbers also. What is V e? V e is this voltage here, this is plus minus V e, the voltage across the, this is the ammeter lead and this is the external resistance, and this is the current is flowing. So, between this and ground will be this voltage, actually I am sorry, this is not, this is, so that is V e, and then V c, the collector current is I c, which we can write as I e and R c. This I c, which is same as I e, is flowing through this lead, then what is the voltage which we will observe across this? This is I e into R c. So, these are the 3 voltages, and once we know them, then we can find out the value of performance parameters of the amplifier. So, first we write an expression from these equations, is very simple to get the voltage gain. The voltage gain for a common emitter amplifier, CE amplifier. This voltage gain is sometimes called amplification factor, voltage amplification factor. So, this is same as voltage amplification factor, same, and by definition this is written of course as A V, and this is output voltage to the input voltage, and you will recall that output voltage is V c by input voltage is V b. This output voltage and this is V c and input voltage is V b. So, this is that. Now, value of V c is here, value of V b is here. So, this from equations 1 and 3, this becomes A v equal to V c, we substitute as I e R c divided by R I e divided by V b, and V b is this R e prime plus R e prime R e, and this gets cancelled. So, this simple expression for the voltage gain R c R e prime plus R e, this is very important. This is the expression for the voltage gain. Now, look at the simplicity of this expression, plus these are all resistances. The expression is simple, it contains the resistances only, and that is why it is called R parameter analysis. Results are obtained in terms of the resistances and one more parameter which may be there, that is beta, which we have talked. Now, you know what are these RC is this parallel combination of the load resistance with the collector resistance, and Re is the effective resistance seen by the ammeter, and this is the ammeter dynamic resistance. So, if we know the value of these three resistances, we can immediately and very easily calculate the value of the voltage gain. Now, let us consider the discuss the role of ammeter resistance. The role of ammeter resistance Re in the voltage gain. Often you look at the original circuit. Here, suppose we use only one resistance here like this. If I use one resistance here, so that the circuit is becomes this. This is Re, R1, R2, Rc, from here this capacitor, another capacitor. Suppose we use this resistance and we do not bypass it, then what is the influence? In that case, this Re will be equal to Re, and this will be, this dynamic resistance is few tens only, just 10, 15, 20 ohms, and this will be Re, we will be using say 500 ohms, 800 ohms, a 1 kilo. So, we can neglect, in this case Re prime is very small in comparison to the resistance which we are using. Then the voltage gain will be close to Rc by Re. The collector resistance will be also in kilo ohms, 1 or 2 kilo ohms, 3 kilo ohms, and this is also in kilo ohms. So, the gain will be extremely low, because Rc is in kilo ohms, and this will also be almost the same order. So, the gain AV will be low, 3, 4, 5, it will be drastically reduced. But why we use Re? If Re is made 0, then of course the gain will increase, because this resistance will be 0, and I come to that. One important thing is that here we have made the voltage gain independent of Re totally. This is known as swamping of the ammeter. Ammeter has been swamped. Has been swamped, and this process is called swamping. What is swamping? Making the voltage gain independent of Re prime, because Re prime is temperature sensitive, as you will recall, it was said earlier. So, making that independent of the changes in the value of Re prime, this is known as swamping. We have swamped the ammeter, but what price we have paid? That the gain is reduced quite a bit. We will take some examples to illustrate this point. So, what is the other way? Other way is that we can bypass the capacitor R e, and in that case if we bypass it, so the circuit becomes this, we bypass it. We have bypassed it, and then the original relation was R C by R e prime plus, if we bypass, then this resistance simply is 0. R e has been made equal to 0 by bypassing resistance R e by a capacitor. If we use this capacitor, then we get for voltage gain R c by R e prime, but this way actually the gain has become very large, because this is in kilo ohms. If R c suppose is 2 kilo ohms, that means 2000 ohms, and this is 20 ohms, then the voltage gain is 100. It is very high, but this is temperature sensitive. So, this will be high, but unstable. So, if we do not use this bypass capacitor, let me talk little more about this bypass capacitor, how we choose the value of the bypass capacitor. Bypass capacitor, what is the purpose? Purpose is AC will find a path of least resistance through this capacitance. This is higher impedance as compared to this. Now, how high it should be, or in other words how low this capacitance should be. This is the thumb rule is that the impedance at the lowest frequency, signal frequency, should be 1/10. The impedance ZC should be 1/10, approximately should be 1/10 of R e. This is the thumb rule. So, we choose this like that, and but then it becomes unstable. So, there is a intermediate position which is often taken. The designers will make the circuit which from where we started, that one resistance is maintained in the circuit and one part is bypassed. So, this will be the best compromise. This will be a smaller resistance than this, and this will be the best part. So, AB will not be as low as in the case of not bypassed, and it will not be unstable because of the effect of dynamic resistance. So, as a compromise, we break that resistance R e into two resistances, a small resistance, a little higher resistance, and this higher one is blocked. So, we will continue this analysis further.